Hello, this is Mandy. I am with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is DocuSign 101. If you're here with me live and you have any questions, definitely drop those in the chat, just as we were talked about. And if you're watching this back on recording and you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to get those answered for you. No problem. All right, guys. So first is, what is DocuSign? DocuSign is a signature platform. This is a platform where you can, in most cases, access your board and your market center forms, edit them, and send them to your clients to get signatures and get them back. Okay. So today's class, I'll be showing you how, number one, this links to your command, how to access it through your opportunities in command. That way, everything's linked properly. And then also we'll go through getting your forms, editing them, sending them to clients. And then once you have them back, how to actually get them over to your market center within that opportunity. That way you can get them submitted for compliance. So as I move through all of this today, definitely let me know if you have any questions. It'll say, Joe, who do I contact to form? That's our email, Joe, support@scottleroymarketing.com. Feel free to send us a file of your contacts and your command logins, and we'll be happy to help reformat and get those imported for you, no problem. Fabia, that's a great question. I'm actually going to cover that today. Your forms come from a lot of different places, depending on your market center, also your board. So I'll actually cover some one-off scenarios today as well to show you where some forms do come from. Okay, we'll jump into that. All right. Next, let's actually look in Command to see where DocuSign links to Command, aka integrates with Command. You'll want to make sure that DocuSign is linked to your command first before creating those opportunities, just so everything is linked properly. Amanda.loop, yes, absolutely. That is another signature platform that you can link with Command. Um, it just depends on your market center and also your board as to whether they provide forms for that platform. If they don't, you may end up having to add them manually or edit them manually to add all the fields, that kind of thing. But some market centers actually still do use .loop and still provide forms through that. So definitely check with your market center staff. All right, so to check where DocuSign links to your command, you would go to your name at the top right and choose Settings. This brings you to your Applications page. Applications page just means this is the place where other third-party apps like DocuSign, like .loop, would link to command. You can see right here as an example, .loop is showing in connected status. This is what you want to see. That means .loop is linked to command. This makes it easy peasy to access forms and also pull those signed forms back into your opportunities. Makes it a little easier, saves you some steps as an agent instead of having to manually download forms from that platform, manually uploading them into an opportunity, right? So let's scroll down to where DocuSign is. It should be right here underneath your digital signatures and transactions. If it already shows in connected status for you, great. Don't touch anything. Do not do what I'm fixing to show you, okay? And so if it's showing in connected status, you are good to go, no touchy. If it is showing in not connected status, then you have a couple options. If you have an existing KW DocuSign account, you can link it. If you need to get a KW DocuSign account, you can actually get one created right here from within your command. So I'm going to show you how to do these two things. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. We can do this for you. If we work with your market center, we'll be happy to tackle this for you. But I do want to show it and cover it in this class just so you know in case you prefer to do it on your own. I do want to take a moment to say this is a special KW DocuSign account. This is not the same if you had had a previously or a previous existing DocuSign account, whether you paid for it or it was the free trial, it is not the same. and most likely not compatible with Command. In order to be compatible with Command, the account does have to originate from right here within Command, and it needs to be a KW DocuSign command. Excuse me. KW DocuSign account. All right. So first, let me show you what you do if you need to actually create that KW DocuSign. You would click connect, and right here you would make sure your first and last name are just as it should be. And then for the preferred email, you want to make sure that's an email address you do not currently have an existing DocuSign account under. Okay. So go ahead and make sure your preferred business email is there. And when you're ready, click send registration email. Again, this is steps on how to create a new KW DocuSign account. Once you click send registration email, this back here where it said not connected would update to say in process. You would receive an email in your inbox of this preferred business email, and you would need to follow those steps in that email exactly in order to finish the setup of your account and also create your DocuSign password. Okay. Once that's done, you would come back into Command, and where it says in process, you would just click authorize. It may give you a prompt to approve the connection between DocuSign and Command, and you would click yes, approve, and then you're good to go, and you should see it in connected status. Now, that should be rare. A lot of you, more than likely, were set up by us here at Scott Leroy Marketing, and this is already done for you. But again, that is where you would set up a new KW DocuSign account. Oh, Sherry, with the I'm sorry, she's asking in the chat, is there a fee from DocuSign to the KW agent to connect? No, the KW DocuSign account is, there's not a direct charge to you, the agent. It is a free KW DocuSign account. Okay. And so that's how you create the new account. Let's say you've already got your KW DocuSign account. You just need to link it to Command. You would come here and just click this connect button again. This time you would choose the log in here. From here, you would want to make sure that the same email address that you currently have on your KW DocuSign account is the email that you put in this field. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my email that my DocuSign is already set up with and enter it here. You can ignore those 1Password pop-ups. That's just my browser. You probably will not see those on yours. WC Smith is spot on. You do pay a tech fee as an agent to your market center. And that tech fee does cover the tech that's provided to you, including your Command and DocuSign. And so, but again, you should not receive a charge from DocuSign directly to the agent. Okay, I just want to make sure I was super clear about that. There are paid accounts you can get from DocuSign. That's not what you're looking for here. And so right here, as long as you've got your email address entered right here that is currently on your KW DocuSign account, you would click log in. You'll get a pop-up window. And then from right here, you may be asked to go ahead and fully sign in to that KW DocuSign account. So you can go ahead and enter your password. Next, password, log in. And then you should get a banner up here that says, now ready to be found in opportunities. Notice our DocuSign has moved up to the top of this page, and it's now showing a connected status. That's what you want to see before you start jumping in and creating opportunities. Now, it's fine if you've created some test opportunities, but if it's an actual transaction you're planning on moving forward with, the best Course of action is to make sure your DocuSign is linked first to your command, then create your opportunity. So that's going to be our next stop. Okay. The next stop is we're going to travel over to our opportunities. If you have not seen our opportunities and sales pipeline class, definitely recommend checking that out. It's kind of a precursor to this DocuSign 101 class. It shows you how to navigate, how to create opportunities, how to edit them, and all the stages in between. It goes through the entire sales pipeline from the time that you start nurturing that relationship with the contact to what do you do with that opportunity and your market center compliance all the way through to closing. So definitely check that out. Again, it's called Opportunities and Sales Pipeline. It is available on our YouTube channel. Since we've had so many people come in just recently, I'm going to go ahead and share those links again down here in the chat so that you have that. Um, I see some questions coming in. Keep those questions coming in, guys. I'm going to move forward just for the time of class, but I will be happy to stay a couple of minutes after class and help get those questions answered for you. Okay. So now with the opportunities, they live right over here. These two hands shaking on the left-hand side of your command. If you're not familiar with the icons yet, you can click that red square and it will pop out the names for you. Okay. You can click it again and it'll hide them. But we'll go here to our opportunities. And hopefully you've already gotten that opportunity created. Okay. Take the time to go ahead and create your opportunity. The button to do so is over here in the top right. If you need any assistance with that, again, our YouTube channel has tip videos on how to create them. It also um, has our class archives from the Opportunities and Sales Pipeline class as well. Okay. Excuse me, tried to clear my throat. Fabia, the opportunities is a name for transactions within your command. Okay. These are your transactions. These are your opportunities with your contact in order to become their agent for, like, if they're a buyer to look for homes and you're going to represent them as a buyer's agent, or a listing if you are going to be their listing agent for their property. Also for tenants and leases, there's also opportunities for that. So opportunity is just another word for transaction, and it's how you track your transactions within your command. And so here we already have an opportunity created. We're going to jump right here into our active phase of opportunities. This shows you we have 11 opportunities in the active phase. Active phase is a good phase to go ahead and start working in DocuSign because obviously you're needing to go ahead and get some documents signed, right? Get some ink on some paper because your listing is fixing to go active. Um, and so right here, yeah, WC, this is a demo account, but that is a nice potential GCI, isn't it? Um, but you should see the times that the opportunities stay in the phases, though. It's extraordinary. They spend like a year in the active phase just because they're a demo. But right here, we're going to go ahead and grab our opportunity. You would do this just by clicking on the name of the opportunity and it would open the opportunity for you. What I'm showing you here is how to get to your opportunity in preparation of accessing DocuSign through your command. The very first time for an opportunity, you will want to make sure you go through the opportunity to DocuSign in order for everything to link properly. Like I told you before, make sure DocuSign's linked to command, create your opportunity, and then you'll go through your opportunity to access DocuSign for the first time on that opportunity. Each time you create an opportunity, make sure to access DocuSign directly from within the opportunity in order for everything to be linked properly. Then after that, when you're on the fly, if you need to go to the DocuSign mobile app or you need to sign into DocuSign directly, that's fine. But just for your initial creation of the opportunity, follow that process to make sure everything's linked properly. I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. So our opportunity is created. I'm just going to click it and open it. Let me show you a couple of prep things to do before you actually access DocuSign through this. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just gonna have to clear my throat a couple of times as we're teaching today, guys. So bear with me. I appreciate your patience with me. Um, but right here within your opportunity, notice it opens right here to the details tab. Anything you fill out here on this details tab could help because that information can feed right over to your DocuSign. This helps fill in forms for you so that you have less to manually fill in. So come here and fill in what you can. Since this is a listing opportunity, you'll also see the option right here to link a listing to the opportunity itself. This is just in listing opportunities. You won't see this in a buyer's opportunity, but for a listing opportunity, this is also something else you can do to make sure the details are filled in about this opportunity, as that will again feed over to DocuSign and help fill in your documents. So I'm going to show you real quick just how to select a listing for your opportunity. And that way, the information about that listing will populate in your opportunity. So I'm just going to choose select from listings. If my MLS was synced, I would see my listings right here. Don't be alarmed if yours is not. It's a good thing to go ahead and do. If you haven't looked into it, reach out to us. We'll be happy to give you steps. There's even, nope, I don't think we have a tip video on that just yet, but you can reach out to us and we can help you do it. But don't be alarmed when you see no listings. You can adjust this to find the listing that you're looking for as long as that listing is on your MLS. Okay. So I actually have a sample listing today. I'm going to choose to search by MLS because that is the most accurate. When you put in the street addresses, obviously a lot of addresses are shared and duplicated over the United States. So it might be a little harder of a challenge to find the listing. MLS is usually a little more accurate. And then over here, I'm just going to change it from only my listings to all listings. And there's our listing. So you can just eyeball it, make sure this is the right one you're looking for. Is that the right market center? Is that the right listing agent? Is it yourself? Um, and once you find your listing, you can just go ahead and click select and click away from this window. Notice now the listing is linked right here and it filled in the property information on your details tab. So again, we're working on filling out this details page just with whatever information you have. It's 100% okay if you don't have this information yet. Notice these edit pencils that are here. You can always come here and make edits as you need to, especially right here under key dates. Those won't, happen, or you won't even have an idea of what they will be until later in the process of that transaction, right? So you can always come here, click that edit pencil, and fill in these dates. Now that you have what you can filled out on your details tab, you can come right here to your documents tab. For your documents tab, this is where you're going to see the forms that your market center will require you to have or suggest that you have for this transaction. And it's also where we're going to access DocuSign directly. See this button over here that says start a transaction? As soon as you click that, it makes a DocuSign room. Let me show you one thing to do right before that, though. If you have not already, over here on the left-hand side, make sure you check or select the correct checklist for this transaction. There are compliance checklists created by your market center, and you will want to make sure you click right here and choose which one fits your opportunity. Like for us, this is a listing opportunity. So we just chose residential listing. It's okay if your checklists do not look the same as it does on my screen. Every market center's checklists will be different. These are handled by your market center staff. And so you may see more options, you may see fewer options. It's okay. They may even be named something different, but just make sure you choose whichever is appropriate for your opportunity. So I'll go ahead and choose my checklist, and that populates the forms right here in the middle to tell me which form is required for this transaction, which one is conditional, and so on. You'll also notice over here on the left that it says listed. And if I go to under contract, these forms change, and now I can see which forms I need for under contract. For closed, same. It'll show me what forms I need or are conditional or optional. So for now, we'll stick to listed. And now that you have DocuSign linked to your command, your opportunity created, your opportunity details tab filled out as much as you can, and you've come now to your documents tab and chosen your checklist, the next step is to actually access that DocuSign account. You would do that by coming over and clicking Start a Transaction. And in doing so, it should open a new tab for you and create the DocuSign Room for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and choose it. Now we had DocuSign and .loop linked to our command, so you may see this option. We'll just choose DocuSign. It opens a new tab and it creates a new DocuSign room. Room is just another word for space. Okay, think of it as a file folder. Um, and so it's just a space, it's a particular room that you're going to be able to keep all of the documents and all of the details about this transaction in one organized space within DocuSign. Okay. Now that we're here, you'll notice we're in DocuSign. We're under the Rooms tab, and it will automatically bring you right here to the Documents tab. And this is where you get to work on your documents within your DocuSign. I do want to touch on again, make sure to go through your opportunities to access DocuSign for the first time for each transaction. That way it properly links this room to your opportunity. Now, if we go back to our opportunity and we go back to our details tab and we're filling out more information here as we find out more, right? Like our key dates. Now you will have a sync transaction option right here where when you fill out details on your opportunity, you can click sync and it will sync it right over to your DocuSign account. Your room information has been successfully updated. Okay. So that's the importance of making sure you come through your opportunity first to access that DocuSign room for the first time to make sure everything's linked. After that, you're free to go right to DocuSign, 100%. Okay. WC Smith's putting in, our docs uploaded only for specific transaction. WC, I think I'm fixing to answer all your questions. I'm going to leave those just for a second. I will come back and get these questions answered for you guys. Keep these coming. Y'all are coming rapid fire with the questions. That is excellent. I will make sure to save a couple of minutes at the end of class and I will get these answered for you. Okay. But to get through the meat of the class, let me go ahead and get forward here. And so coming back to our DocuSign room, now that we're here, okay, we've created our DocuSign room. Let's talk about how to actually make sure your DocuSign account is properly linked to your market center and your board so that you can get your forms. Okay. This, what I'm fixing to show, will apply to about 99% of the agents here. Do not panic if you are that 1%. Okay. What I'm fixing to show you is how a market center and a board integrates forms into DocuSign using the agent's NRDS number or M1 number. That's the number assigned to you by the National Association of Realtors. In some cases, like our Precious California agents, our Canadian agents, in those areas, and maybe in a handful of others, you may actually use another third party to get your forms from. Sometimes they will come through your board of realtors directly where you're signing in. Like for California agents, you would sign directly into CAR, your association of realtors there, to get forms, edit them, things like that, and then bring them into your DocuSign. Speak to your Market Center staff directly if you are in one of those locations. Okay. And if you get forms from some other third party, I know some market centers use transaction desk, things like that. For those one-off situations that are particular to your particular local office, just check with your staff and they'll be able to guide you step by step to make sure that you've got your access to your forms through DocuSign correctly set up. Okay. But again, what I'm fixing to show you applies to 99% of you. And I'll just show you how to make sure that your DocuSign account is properly linked to your market center and your board. Okay. You would do that by coming over here to the top right, clicking on your name, and go into your preferences. Preferences, you would come over here to integrations on the left-hand side. From here, right here under providers, you want to see company forms listed. It's okay if you don't. I'll show you how to get them there. But company forms is just a way of saying that now your DocuSign is linked to your Market Center forms. If you do not see company forms listed here, you can simply click Add Provider. And right down here at the bottom, there is a little link that says Continue to Company Forms without validation. If that is a blue hyperlink for you and you're able to click it, go ahead and click that. When you do, it'll bring you back to this page and it will show you that now your company forms are integrated with your DocuSign account. Okay? Again, that's giving you access to your Market Center forms. Now, to get to your board forms, in most cases, you will access those by making sure that your DocuSign account is properly linked and integrated with your NRDS number, your NERDS number. And this is how you do it. You click Add Provider. You would choose the board that applies to you best. Most cases, it's just going to be Realtor, National Association of Realtors. And then you'll be asked to enter your 9-digit NRDS number, enter your last name exactly as it appears on your real estate license, including punctuation and spaces. And then in the drop down, you'll choose the board association that you've become a member of. Some states have blanket boards. Some is it will be the exact name of your local board. But either way, choose the association board here that you're a member of and choose validate. In a perfect scenario, if you do it correctly, it'll bring you back to this page. And then you'll see NAR listed underneath providers. That means your DocuSign is now integrated correctly with your MLS board, and you will have access to those forms. In some cases, market centers also use zip forms as a place to get documents. If that's the case, you can notice they have an integration right up here at the top, and you can choose this blue arrow over to the right, enter your zip form login information, and choose to save. This will help pull in documents from your zip forms account into DocuSign if your office or board uses that platform for documents. Okay. That's how you want to make sure that your DocuSign is properly integrated and linked to those entities in order to pull in forms. Okay. So I'm going to get back out of our settings. We're going to come back up to our room here. We want to go find our opportunity / DocuSign room so that I can continue to show you what it looks like to actually work with these forms. So I'm going to go to rooms. We'll choose our little room that we just made. And we'll come back to documents. Okay. Next step, right? You've got your opportunity. You've made your DocuSign room. You know that your DocuSign account is properly linked, so you'll have access to your forms when you need them. And now let's talk about where do you go get those forms? Where do you find the ones that you need? There's several ways to add forms into this space, into this room, so that you can use them. So I'm going to show you the different ways. The main way that you'll most likely use it the majority of the time is just to come right here to add and add DocuSign forms. These are the ones that we just integrated from our Market Center and our board. I'm going to click DocuSign forms. Hand side, you will have packets and libraries. Libraries, they are the entire offering of forms from that particular entity. You can see here now, don't panic when you see how many we have. Again, this is a demo. You're not going to have this many. You should probably only have maybe 3 to 5 options down here, or maybe even just one. But these are all the libraries we have access to. So I'm going to click Show More and show you this is kind of what it looks like when it's an association. You may see their initial and then their name for the association. And coming on down, this is what it might look like when it's your Market Center library. Okay. So when you select one of the Market Centers or the board libraries, you should see all the forms they have to offer over here on the right. Okay. The packets, if I scroll back up, these packets that you see at the top, they're specialized folders that either the board or the Market Center made for you. And I'm going to show more just to make it a little more obvious about what they are. Coming on down, you'll see like this is for VA rental if it's a listing. This is for, I think this is Virginia rental for a tenant. You might see some that say residential listing forms, residential buyer forms. It just depends on what those entities named those packets for you, but it should help you. Instead of having to search through the entire library of forms, this helps you minimize it down to exactly the type of transaction that you're looking for. Here, choose the packet that you want, choose the library that you want, whatever you'd like to do. And you can come over here to the right and begin choosing the forms that you want to add to your room. If you need to preview them ahead of time, you can do that right here by clicking the eyeball, and it will show you a preview of the form. Some of these will say sample all the way across them. Do not be alarmed. That is just the sample. When you pull the form into your room, it will not have that watermark on it, okay? But sometimes when you preview them here by clicking on the eyeball, you will see a watermark. Also, let's say you're not finding what you need. You do have a search bar here. You can simply type in a word or the full form name, and then clear my throat. Then you can search through these packets. Maybe I just need to click on the next packet and see if there's forms with that particular word or name. Now we're starting to find the forms that have the name that we're looking for. Once you find those forms, go ahead and click and choose them. I'm actually going to come on down and choose the right library for this particular opportunity we have created. Give me 2 shakes. Hopefully I'm going to be able to find this thing quick. There we go. So I'm going to choose the library, get rid of my search word, and I'll just choose a form here. You can choose more than one. Jillian, this will be on our YouTube channel. There's already a class archive as well. We teach it every month, so you can go grab an archive too that's already on there. Let me drop our YouTube link in the chat for you, my friend. There you go. And so I'm just going to click on some of the forms just to get some for our room and show you that you can choose more than one. Okay, we'll say this is the listing for sale. Any other forms in here? New construction. That one always has a lot of blanks that I can show you some demos on. All right, and so you can see that you can choose more than one. I could even go into another packet or another Market Center library and continue choosing documents even from there. You'll notice over here on the selected tab, it keeps count of all the forms I've selected. All right, so you can keep maneuvering in here. You don't have to add one at a time. If you need to double check yourself to see what you've already grabbed, you can come here to selected and look at the ones that you've selected. If you decide you don't need some of these, you can just uncheck them. Okay. Fabia, yes, I'll show you how to remove documents from the room shortly if you decide that you don't need them or they're duplicated, whatever. Once you've gotten your DocuSign forms, just click Add Selected. Looks like once the forms are actually in your room, you can look at them like little cards like this, or you'll notice there's a different view over here on the top right. You can change it to a list view if you prefer. Okay. So this is just the different views. It's really just up to your preference, how you like to view them. I'm going to leave mine in card view or grid view today, just for the purpose of I want to show you something else. Okay. But in this same vein of adding documents to your room, there's a couple of other ways that you can add documents. Yes, you have your add button here, and we just showed how to show DocuSign forms, but you can actually add from your own computer if you would like to. You can access your zip forms. You can even pull them in from like Google Drive, okay, or Dropbox or Box. You also can drag and drop a form. I'm going to open my files here from my computer and show you how you can drag and drop into a room. So just grab a PDF here and you can drag and drop. One other neat way that you can also add forms into the room is you can email them into your DocuSign account. Right here, you have an inbox in your DocuSign account. If I click over here, you'll notice your email address right here on the left. This is a special DocuSign email just for you, and you can shoot over or email over documents right here into your DocuSign account. So, working on the fly, the other agent sends you, let's say you're working with a buyer, the other agent sends you the property disclosure and you need to get it in here and get it ready for signatures from your buyer. You could just email it to yourself and it would come right on over, sit here in your inbox. And once you get it here in your inbox, you can then decide which room that document goes to. Okay. So again, those are just multiple ways that you can get forms, documents into your rooms here in DocuSign. Okay. Nope, WC, that is not the email your client would see if you send documents to your clients from DocuSign. They will see your business email that your DocuSign account is actually created with. Okay. What email you see up here in the top right-hand corner, that is the email they will see. The email I just showed you for DocuSign is strictly internal. Um, I mean, you can give it to people if you want, but I don't think you'd have a necessary need for that. It's just for you to be able to shoot documents into your DocuSign account if you need to. All right, we're back here. We're in our DocuSign room. And now that we have all of our forms here, let's look at what it looks like to edit them, okay? To be able to start making changes. I want to highlight one big difference that it will make for you in editing your forms, and that is the type of form it is. Notice these little guys. Hopefully you can see this clearly. It has a tiny little icon and it says form in blue on it versus the one next to it has a little form and says PDF in red. The difference here is the blue form actually came from DocuSign forms. That's one of your Market Center or your board forms. They've already formatted it for you so that the fields are already added. Let me show you what I mean. When I click on this form, takes it a second to open. Don't panic. This part will take a minute with your DocuSign account. But notice how I already have forms or fields here where I can just immediately begin to start typing in to the form and making the changes that I need to make. Okay. Whoops. And so those fields are already there for you. This is exactly how you would edit it. You just begin typing. And any details that we already had added to our details page populate within that form. That's what you will get when you see that form in blue. Gonna come back. Let's just save and close this little guy and let me show you again. As long as your form or document has the blue form icon on it, those fields will already be added for you. And the way that you edit them is you simply click on your document, count to 3, and then begin filling in the forms. Okay? Okay? That's all you got to do. When you're done making these changes, when you're done filling in all these fields, hit save and close. Don't worry, the signatures come later. And you're good to go. That's how you would edit a form that you got out of DocuSign Forms. If it's this, the red PDF, remember this is the form that actually pulled off of my device onto the DocuSign Room. So it's a flat PDF. This means there's no fields on it to edit. If I were to click on this and open it, there is no field. There are no fields. I can speak English, really. There's no fields to actually edit. It's just a flat PDF. Okay. You would edit these once you get it into the envelope, and I'll show you how to do that. So if it is a flat PDF, you'll edit it once you move into the envelope phase of getting signatures. If it is a form you pulled in from DocuSign and it has those fields on it, you would edit them right here in the room. Okay, let me know if you guys have questions about that. I just want to make it super clear. So here, notice that you do have a details tab within your DocuSign account in this DocuSign Room. This details tab is very similar to your opportunities details tab, but it actually has a few more fields in it. So you can always come here as well, click edit, and add in more information if you would like. It will just cause that information to populate in your forms for you. So if you know you're going to be doing a lot of forms, it might be a little easier to come right here into your details tab. And if you see some fields that aren't filled out yet that you know will be on a form, you might want to come in here and add them one time versus having to fill them out continuously across forms. Next, let's go back to our Documents tab here. Let's say you've edited your forms, right? I want you to know that there's a hidden menu on this page. When you select your form by checking the checkbox, that hidden menu will populate right here, and these are some more tools that you can use in editing your forms. The ones that you will most likely use the most is you have a print option right here, and then you have a pin where you create an envelope. After you're done editing your forms, this is the next step when we begin sending the forms over to your clients to sign. That's also where you would edit any flat PDFs that you've added to your room. You do have the option to archive and delete. Okay. Delete, there is no undo. Please be careful. But you can also archive. Okay. All right. So now let's say we've edited our forms completely, except for our flat PDFs. And now we need to go ahead and get this into an envelope, a digital envelope, to get it ready to send to the clients for signatures. You want to select the forms you want in the envelope. Don't worry if you don't grab all of them. There will be an opportunity to add more in a minute. But if you already know, like we know, we want to take this guy, and we'll go ahead and take our flat PDF too so I can show it to you. Next, click your envelope or your pen to create the envelope. It may ask you about these particular roles because those forms already have those roles assigned to them. Like the form already knows that there will be a space for signatures from at least these particular people. So you can go ahead and select that, yes, I'm going to go ahead and send this to my seller today. So that is one. And I'm the listing agent, so I need to sign. So I'm going to go ahead and click that box too. This will help you go ahead and have these roles assigned once you get into the envelope. I'll show you what I mean. Click continue. This part may take another second. Your DocuSign's working really hard. Even with fast internet, this part does take a second. While we're waiting, Fadia, I apologize if I mispronounced that. I won't be able to go over the details tab in details, all the sections today, but you do welcome you to go and check that out and let us know if you have any questions about a particular section. But since this is more of an overview class, I'll actually need to cover a couple other things before that. But if you're here at the end of class and you have a question about a particular section, I'm happy to help. So this is what it looks like inside an envelope. At first, you'll have the option to make sure you got those right documents listed here, okay? These are the two documents I grabbed. Maybe I forgot a couple. I can come over here and upload more. I have the same options I did within my room, okay? So we can come over here. I'm going to touch on this. I hope I'm not opening a can of worms, but do notice that you have an option to use a template here. Specifically, this is directed at any of our new construction agents. You know how builders always have their own forms, right? In that case, you might not want to upload flat PDFs every single time you have a transaction and have to manually fill out every form. So there is a way in DocuSign to create templates. It's a form that either is already provided from your market center in your board and you just want to make it your own and fill out the same information so you don't have to do it every time. Or maybe it's a form like a builder specific contract that's not provided already within DocuSign and you need to add it and create all the fields and then put the information in it you want. You can create either type of template like that. That is available in DocuSign. We do have tip videos that go into that. Okay. So I just want you to know that is an option. But right here, we can upload more forms if we need them. If I decide I need this in a different order, I can swap it around. You can either come and X these out if you don't want them anymore. Next section is recipients. These are the people that need to either receive a copy, need to review, need to sign. If they need to have any role at all in this particular envelope, you will want to make sure they're listed right here under Add Recipients. Since we already chose Seller 1 and Listing Agent, you see those already populated for you. That's the benefit of check marking those off as you're creating your envelope. Okay. And so it should populate the name and email. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. Depends if you have their information updated under the Details tab. But you can choose their role as well. Like we'll say that Seller 1 needs to sign and the listing agent needs to sign. But look at all these other options that you can do. Okay. If somebody's here and you don't need them to be here, you can trash can it. You can also change the order. Maybe I want to make sure I sign my part first. So I can slide this guy up and make sure that my signing order is 1 and then 2 if I want to do it before. If I want this to go out to everybody at the same time, you can just choose not to have a signing order and it will shoot out to everybody. It's up to you. Underneath, you have the message that actually goes over to them. What does that email look like? What's the subject? What's the message? And so you can customize this as well and send a different message to each person or leave it like it is and it will be the same standard message that everybody says, or that everybody gets. Okay. Type in your own message. From there, click next. Again, we're in our envelope. We're getting our documents ready to send for signatures. This is our flat PDF at the top. Remember that it didn't have any fields and I was going to show you how to add those fields. This is where you would do that. Over here on the top left, your recipients are here and they're color coded. You'll want to make sure you grab whichever one you need to get I should have changed the name so it wasn't Scott for both of them, but here we are. And so the top one, I believe, was for the listing agent and it's yellow. So any field I add for him, I will get to see in yellow to help you distinguish which field you're creating for which recipient. Okay. When the recipient receives their own envelope, they're only going to see the fields in color that they need to sign or they need to fill out. Okay. They won't see all this other business that you see from the agent side. But this is where you would add your fields for that. You would literally grab like a text box and add it. And if you need to add wording, you would double click in it, add your text here. You would grab a signature block and add it. Maybe a date signed box that will automatically update with the date as soon as this person signs. But you would need to add your own fields to this particular form. Coming on down to a DocuSign form, remember the one that already had the fields in it where we edited it? You can still click these fields and make changes if you need to. Okay? And click off and it'll be there. For any box that you see text, they won't see those. Don't worry. It's just, again, something you see as an agent. And you'll notice if you scroll down, signature blocks are already added in most cases. Okay? And so you can move these around, delete them. Notice they're color coded. If we swap back over to the other recipient, our fields are in blue. So if we add something here, it'll be in blue. Okay. These are how you add your forms and add your signatures. Once you're ready, you do have a preview option at the top where you can come and preview it based on each recipient's view. If you want to make sure it looks exactly how you want it to look and shows all the forms. Okay. Notice that this guy will only see the forms or the fields that he needs to sign in color. Okay. We swap over to yellow. Now he will see the forms and the fields that we added at the top for him. Scrolling on down, he will see his own signature block. You can X out of the preview when you're ready. And from here, you can take action to either send or send later and schedule it. If you need to save it as a draft, under your actions up here, you have a save and close option. We're going to save and close. In your world, you would have just sent this to your clients. You'll get a notification once they've signed. If you ever need to come and check on the progress, come right here to your envelopes tab. You can click on your envelope and there will be an option to view the history of it. In our case, since it was a draft and never sent, it just opens it again and asks us to go ahead and complete this envelope to send it out. Okay. So I'm going to save and close again. But if it was an envelope that was already sent and it's in process, you would see that here and you can click on the envelope to view the history. You'll be able to see exactly whose inbox it's in and if they've even looked at it. Okay. It'll be timestamped too. That's where you can always go if somebody's telling you, hey, I didn't get it. You can come here to check that out. Once you get those signed documents back, you would then come over to your opportunities, go to your documents tab, and now you need to get those forms submitted to your market center for compliance. Remember, for our listed, under contract, and closed folders, we would come right here to listed. You can sort this particular column if you want to see which ones are required, conditional, or optional. And right over here to the right, if you want to attach files directly from your DocuSign, you can. Any signed document that's in your room that's linked to this opportunity would show up in this list right here. You would just be able to choose it from the drop down. Give it a second and it will turn into a PDF link. There it is. And now this form has been uploaded to your opportunity. You also can choose to add them from your device by coming to DocuSign and choosing My Computer. And this will allow you to browse your device to add a form, or again, you can drag and drop from your device into your opportunity. Once you get all of your forms listed here and they're all in uploaded status, you would just come right here to submit to your Market Center. You will get command notifications and typically email notifications as well as your Market Center responds to those, whether they are able to approve it for compliance right away, or maybe there's something missing or they have a question, they'll communicate back with you and let you know. Notice this is in status open and this says listed status open. Once it's approved by your Market Center, it will show you that it's approved or rejected. Okay. WC, you'll get the notification right here underneath your notification bells about compliance, but you should also get an email, I believe, when you have a compliance notification. Fadia, yes, you would want to upload all the required documents, and then if there are some that are conditional or let's find an optional, those aren't required, obviously. And if you have them, upload them. But if not, that's okay too. Okay. But all the required needs to be uploaded and then submitted to your Market Center. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and go through all these questions. If you have any more questions, go ahead and get those dropped in the chat for me. I'll be happy to stay 1 or 2 minutes to help get these answered for you guys. Thank you for being here with me today. And again, if you're listening to this back on a recording, you can always email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thanks for watching.